Hey guys, we've got an exciting video today, and that's going to be a PSA return. It's actually my best one so far, so I wanted to open it up on camera. It's actually in two separate boxes because I got indecision and sent in another card later, but we're going to open them up as one. I don't normally send stuff into PSA that often, but this was the first time I think I actually had enough cards to build a little collection to send. It's only 7 cards. It's only 7 cards, but it was pretty darn cool to see the results online, and so wanted to open it up together with you guys. So let's dive in. Okay, so we've got our 2 boxes. So we're going to consolidate them into 1 stack. So that's our first stack, and this one is just 1 actually. So we're gonna, now we've got our little stack of 7 cards. We're gonna be able to do our grade reveal together. So I have gone ahead and actually added in some of these sticky tabs right here, as you can see, and those are meant to cover the certs on the front of each of these PSA slabs. It's not that I don't trust my 2 YouTube subscribers, but rather it's because I've seen a lot of stuff online about people actually creating fake slabs recently with cert numbers, and you just don't want there to be a situation where your real cert gets deactivated because someone else made a fake version of your slab. And so it's just good practice. Again, not that I don't trust my 2 subscribers on YouTube, but it's just generally, I think, a good thing to do if you want to be a little more secure with your slabs. Okay, so with that, we're going to start opening these up one by one. So again, I have this little stack with 7 here. I've sorted it from, I think, least value to most value at the bottom, and there's a pretty diverse set of cards here. So I'm going to share a little bit of backstory about each one as I pull it up, and then we're going to reveal the grade together. So how we're going to do this is we're going to pull up 1 card at a time, and I'm going to keep the grade covered in the top left. I'll tell you a little bit about the card and how I got it, and then I'm going to pull the sticker I have here away to show the grade to you guys all at once. So the first card is a Japanese version of the Ninetales from Obsidian Flames. In Japanese, the set name is actually really cool. I think it's called Ruler of the Black Flame. And the card itself is gorgeous. You can really see the texture, the pattern, everything is just stunning about this card, and I think it's super slept on. But the Japanese card is way cheaper, and so I picked this up at I think a local card shop actually a few months back. It was a shop in the East Bay. So I was able to just grab this card for about $5, and I looked at it at home and I realized that, you know what, the centering is great. There aren't really any issues with the front, and I may as well send it in to give it a chance. And so together we're going to see that the grade was a PSA 10. So that was a great hit. I'm really happy with that result, of course, and it is a beautiful card to have in the collection. So the second one is going to be another Japanese card, which is the Venusaur and Snivy tag team. It's the Yukimori art specifically, which is probably one of my favorite artworks of any card ever. I just love how it's so slice of life. The Venusaur and the Snivy are really just enjoying themselves in a forest scene, and Yukimori, as you all know, is amazing. So really happy to have picked this up. This was actually from a show. It was HypeCon back in, I believe, February of this year, and I actually did a straight trade for a Venusaur PSA 9 from 151 for this card raw in Japanese, and I decided to send it in to get graded because I took a look at it again when I was trying to make a submission, and I found that the centering and everything was really nice. It's kind of hard on these cards to tell the centering is going to be on the front because you can see the borders are basically like these black lines with a silver edge on the outside. But sometimes with PSA, you just take an educated guess and you go ahead and try to send it in. And here is the grade that we got. Another 10. So we're super happy with that. We're 2 for 2 so far. And both of these are Japanese cards. As you might know, Japanese cards do have stronger quality control, and so generally speaking, you have a higher rate of a 10. But cards like this, I think, are still really fun to get graded because they're pretty unique. Tag teams are always going to be really popular, and especially this one with the really lovely Yukimori art. I'm a big fan of this card, and so I'm really happy to have gotten it back in a 10. Okay, so we're 2 for 2 so far. We're going to move on to the next card, and this is our first English card of the set. So here we have the Mew from Crown Zenith. And this is actually a Mew that I packed myself. I opened up a Sea and Sky box a few months back when they weren't $150 for a box. But I managed to pack this in my first pack. I think I have that video somewhere. Maybe someday I'll edit that up and release it. But having this card was really cool because it is one of the prettiest cards, I think, from the set. I really like these types of cards. Again, I mentioned Slice of Life in the last one, but ones that have a lot of Pokemon around the center. So you can see Mew is just sleeping on a little log there, and there's actually not even a log, and a little bed of grass, and it's surrounded by a Galarian Ponyta, a Rookidee, Skwovet, Cramorant, and a couple other Pokemon on the side. So really lovely card. I chatted with someone at a show a few months back and asked them, hey, do you think this could 10? And they were like, you know what? Give it a shot. Why not? Especially because the 10 of this card has been doing really well lately on the market. And so, drum roll please. It's another 10. So we're 3 for 3 so far. Really great luck this time. And thankfully, I guess I just picked some good cards to send in. So far we're doing really good on this submission. And this Mew in a PSA 10 is a really sweet card to have. All right, so we're moving on to the fourth card now, which is another English card. And it is the Kingdra Illustration Rare, or Special Illustration Rare actually, from the EX Premium Collection from Shrouded Fable. So I got this from a box, so I actually bought the box myself, looked at the Kingdras in the front, and decided that this one looked like it had the best centering. Of course, you can't see the back when you're buying the Premium Collection box, and so I had to actually take it out and take a look at it, but all in all, it looked really nice. I had, I think, 3 of these boxes. One I opened, one I sold, and this one I decided to try and keep the Kingdra and actually grade it. And took a chance basically on the best looking Kingdra that I had and went ahead and sent it in. And as you can see, the centering is really nice on the front. Centering was really nice on the back too, which you can see here. So figured it's worth a shot, at least may as well try it out. And drum roll, the result was another 10. Oh, that's not focused, sorry. There it is, another 10. So we had a really good run here. We've gotten 4 10s so far, 2 Japanese, 2 English, and this is a really cool one to have in a 10 because this card is tough to grade. The population is not like crazy low because it was a promotional card, but the quality control is just not that strong in Shrouded Fable, and so having this result in a 10 was really fun. Okay, we've got 3 cards left, and they're going to be 3 really interesting ones. So the first one here is the Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown. So I got back into collecting, I think, in October of 2024 after collecting a ton as a kid, and in November of 2024 we were visiting my wife Eileen's family on the East Coast, and I stopped by a shop and I picked up 1 pack of Stellar Crown, and I opened it up and I hit this. At the time I really didn't realize how cool of a card this was. I wasn't really looking at the market or anything like that, I just knew it was a really cute card, but this is probably my biggest hit since coming back into the hobby. And when I looked it up later I realized that, hey, this is probably the coolest card from the set besides the Squirtle, and it looked like it was actually in really good shape. At first I wasn't really thinking about grading at all, but then when I looked at it, the centering again was really strong. There were no white edges on the back or anything like that, and so I ultimately decided that we may as well take a chance with our submission here and send it in. I think generally speaking, if you pack a card, it's your best chance really of having a gradable card because it's literally fresh out of the box, but it's not always the case. Quality control can always be iffy. But we're going to show the grade now together once this focuses. Focus. There you go. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, boom! Another PSA 10. We've gotten all 10 so far, guys. I don't know how. I got really lucky, to be honest with you. I thought these all had really good 10 chances, but you really never know with PSA. But having our 5th 10 is a pretty darn good result. Okay, I only have 3 minutes of footage left on this camera, so we're gonna try and be fast here. The next one is kind of an interesting one. You're gonna see right away from the back, it is super beat up and it's a really old card. It's a Pokemon World Championships card from 2006. And it is the Gold Star Latios from, again, the World Championship, so it's not like the real Gold Star, but I've had this card since I was a kid, and I decided to get it graded specifically because I collect PSA 2s. And that all started with this card, which is a card I also had as a kid, and I sent in to get graded, and it came back as a PSA 2. So since then, I've been collecting Gold Stars and Shinings of PSA 2s. This one is not a true Gold Star per se, but I figured I'd try it. It is pretty beat up though, so I figured maybe it'll get that too. And it did. It got a PSA 2, so I can add this to my collection now. It's not, again, a real Gold Star, but I'm pretty happy with this still since I really do love the artwork. I just wish it were a holographic, but I guess that's why it's a World Championships card. So happy to get that. That is, I'm gonna call that a win because I was specifically looking for a 2 and I got a 2. So that is exactly the result that we wanted. So far we've gotten 5 10s and 1 2, exactly by design. Okay, it's time for our last card, which is by far the biggest card we sent in here, and that is the Mega Mewtwo EX from Breakthrough. This card was cool because I picked this up as part of a lot when I was trying to put together enough inventory for my first show, and I actually got this one intending to just sell it raw, but I looked at it and I realized that, hey, this has really good centering, really great edges. There are no blemishes that I could see on at all. I also looked at the back, and the back was incredibly clean for an older card, which is really hard to come by for something in the mid-era sets. And honestly, this card has like no PSA 10s. I believe the population is less than 500, it's about 480. And so I figured, you know what, we may as well take the chance. If I get an 8 or a 9, I think I still made my money back, if not more. So we may as well send it in. And the result, that's my camera. Yep, there we go. The result was another PSA 10. Insane, guys. I did not expect to get this many 10s. I got 6 out of 6 10s and 1 2 like I was going for. And so I'm honestly blown away at this PSA result. And that's all the cards that we sent in this time. Again, it's not a huge submission, and I really don't grade very often because I am incredibly impatient and I just want my cards back as soon as possible. So I normally don't wait things out, but we were in the middle of a move. I figured I'd send them in, wait a few months. I have a show coming up this weekend, and so I thought it'd be good to get some inventory back. And ultimately we came away with an incredible result. So just to recap, we have our Mewtwo, which is of course the biggest hit of the bunch. We have our Gold Star Latias, World Championships, that I got a PSA 2 on, which I was going for. We got a PSA 10 Squirtle, PSA 10 Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown, PSA 10 Kingdra Special Illustration Rare from Shrouded Fable, our PSA 10 Mew from Crown Zenith, our PSA 10 Venusaur and Snivy, and our PSA 10 Ninetales. So all in all, super stoked about this result. Gonna try and send in maybe a few more cards in the future and see what we get there, but hopefully you all enjoyed this grade reveal. It's a lot of fun to share the backstory on how I got these cards, and I think the lesson learned here is take a chance. You really never know what you're gonna get with PSA, and I'm glad I sent these all in. I felt they had a good chance, and I got the results I was looking for. So with that, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.